Hello everyone, today I want to talk about dark siding. Dark siding is when you use a car tire on the back of a motorcycle. There are several reasons to do this. Whatever your reason, I don't care. I will just go over what my reason was to do this. First thing, I know what's on your mind. Let's get it straight. You really can't tell much difference when you put a car tire on the back. The car tire wall flexes more than a motorcycle tire. So unless somebody tells you or you see a car tire on the back of a motorcycle, you probably won't be able to tell what kind of a tire the motorcycle has. And if you don't believe me, do a blind test on it, which is what I did. Riders do this for several reasons. I'm on a big bike. It's a Goldwing GL 1800. I did it because I ran out of a Bridgestone motorcycle tire in less than 5,000 miles. I was in the middle of nowhere, and it was hard to source a tire at that point, and I was showing white threads in the tire. It was that bad. Once I did switch to a car tire on the back, I did find out that it actually has better grip, more grip, better grip in the wet, and just overall better grip. The turning didn't really impact that much. I've been riding several different types of motorcycles, sports bikes, to bikes with sidecars. So really, it just changes the bike a little bit, just like if you would go from one brand of tire to another. Now, I know what you're asking. The car tire is really not going to last that much more or longer than a motorcycle tire. I know you've probably heard a car tire lasting 30,000 miles. Ain't gonna happen. I've used a Falcon tire on the back, and that lasted me about 10,000 miles. Now I've got a Kumho tire on the back, and we'll see how long it lasts. It's going pretty quick. How long a car tire lasts, or any tire lasts, is basically in your right hand grip. So the more you twist it, the less miles you'll have on that tire, and you'll have to replace it. Simple as that. By the way, this entire video clip was recorded on a ride to the hill country just over a weekend. The other two bikes you'll see in this video are BMW K1600s. Both of them are GTs, and didn't have any issues in the curves, twisties, whatever. Handled just fine. So my issue started on a ride from Houston to Big Bend. We took Highway 90, which is chip seal. That's really tough on tires, and it's a long ride. There are speed limits, but per usual, there are suggestions. And we made it to Terlingua. I remember when I pulled into the motel and checked in, and Andy said, hey, you need some new tires? And I was like, thought he was kidding. And he said, no, really, look at your back tire. So bent over, looked at it, and yep, there was a white thread in the center, and it just wasn't gonna take me back to Houston. So had to start sourcing a tire for the back of the Goldwing. And in Terlingua, there's only one Shade Tree mechanic. So it was time to source a tire. Went over to the Shade Tree mechanic. There was some dirt track, and CDC was on his FJR, which doesn't do very well off the pavement. But we did make it in there. We found the last tire he had. It was a Dunlop, It wasn't the right size, but it would fit on the rim. I had to help the guy dismount and mount the new tire, dismount the old one. It's not easy to break the bead on the Goldwing tires. We got it done, made it back to Houston, and that's when the quest started to find a better alternative to the motorcycle tire. Keep in mind, on the Goldwing, the motorcycle tire is already almost at its weight limit. The bike is just heavy. So as soon as I got back home to Houston, I went to Discount Tire, took the wheel with me, and had a Falcon car tire installed on the rear. I didn't know what to expect, so it was a trial for me, and it worked out pretty good. Left that tire on. After the Falcon, I went back to, and that lasted me about 10,000 miles. I went back to a motorcycle tire again, and then after the motorcycle tire, which didn't last me very long, I went to a Kumho tire, and the main thing I noticed was better grip. But you know, that torquey motor, it'll still break loose if you wanted to, even with the car tire on the back. But really, in the wet or loose dirt conditions, it's much better grip. One thing I did find out is that if you do put a car tire on a motorcycle rim, you're going to have a hard time trying to balance it, just because most of the facilities out there, they cannot mount a motorcycle tire on their balancing machine. So I had a tough time with that, but overall it worked pretty good. And then I went back to the motorcycle tire, just to get a feel for the differences. After I ran that down, I went back to the Kumho car tire. The Kumho tire works better than the Falcon, in my opinion. It just handles more like a motorcycle tire, and there are subtle differences that you can kind of tell. Not that it impacts the drive that much. One thing to take note of is, since the sidewalls are much more flexible on a car tire, the air pressure in the tire really makes a difference. So you want to play around with different tire pressures. For me, 45 psi works the best. It gives me best feel similar to what the motorcycle tire felt like. It doesn't track tar snakes or anything cracks in the road or anything like that. The worst bike I've had that wanted to track tar snakes was a Yamaha FC6, but even a car tire on the back of the Goldwing, it doesn't track as bad as the FC6 did. And I never mounted a car tire on the back of the FC6. It was always a motorcycle tire. Actually, I think FC6 was my first bike here in the US. So as far as the life of the tire goes, a car tire will probably last you 10-12,000 miles, or for me it lasts me about 10-12,000 miles. So it's almost like a little over 2.5, 3 front tires to 1 rear tire. Yeah, that rear tire just goes, and it's of course, if you slow down, take it easy, it'll last a lot longer. But then, what's the fun in that? So post up a comment in the comment section if you want me to talk about something specific regarding motorcycles, car tires, RVs, whatever. I'm into all that. So I hope you guys keep the rubber side up, and good riding.